Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Kelazhur and Polt on Dusk Towers. This is our weekly TBT match. For those of you who do play Terran on the ladder, I do want to cover all matchups in StarCraft 2, not just the popular ones. So I try to select the best TBTs, and this is actually from the Kings of the Craft tournament. If you've been watching my channel recently, you know I'm highlighting a few of those casts. A few of those replays and matches. Go ahead and subscribe to Root Gaming TV over at youtube.com/c/rootgamingtv. There's a link in the description to do so. They don't have many subscribers, so please let them know that you love them, and please tell them that Falcon Paladin sent you. In the top side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is Kelazhur, representing Root Gaming. And in the bottom side of the map, we have the Terran blue player. It is Polt, representing CM Storm. So a TBT here on Dusk Towers. We've seen this matchup a few times on this map, I think on my channel. Some really great play, some nice areas for drops down here, really dead areas back here for Liberators as well. Now the general meta for a TBT has been Marine Tank with medevacs for dropping the tanks. Now if that's something we'll see here today, that's entirely possible. Is it something different? Entirely possible as well. Either way, both players pretty much following each other's instructions here, or each other's guides. No, Kelazhur. Kelazhur going for a double racks opening here. Looks like a one-base play. He has his gas. He has his 2 racks. It looks like it could actually be double Reaper. Oh, I don't know. There's the Reaper 1, but the scout for Polt is here. He sees it, man. He sees what's going on, and he's going to be able to defend this, I think. His own Reaper coming out here, but 1 Reaper versus 2 is usually not a very fair fight. Kelazhur should be able to win this. There's the wall off. The ad SCV is never getting home. Sorry, buddy. Another Reaper on the way. Okay, so Kelazhur opening with a 2 Reaper. Out of 2 racks expand. Moving, looks like he could be moving into an expansion. No, he's getting another refinery while the expansion's coming up for Polt. So is this a one-base play? It looks like it very well may be. The Reaper hunting around for that naughty SCV. He's going to be able to find it. Take it down. The SCV does try to come in and get a shot off, but no, the micro too good from Kelazhur. Goodbye, getting a single kill to his name is great. That sounded like the AOL. Goodbye. Goodbye. Yeah, that's what it was. For those of you old enough to remember what AOL was back in the days when it was like one of the first widely used ISPs, we got that when I was maybe, I want to say 12 or 13 or so. We had to string a phone line all the way from the kitchen into our office because the office didn't actually have a phone line. And yes, the internet came over phone lines for those of you who are too young to remember that. And the logon sound, what was it? I don't know. Either way, KD8 charge knocked down there. The Reapers for Kelazhur are trying to get up, but there are Marines. There's a Reaper of Polt's own. I don't think this is going to be able to do much of anything for Kelazhur. There are 3 Reapers here. I don't see any more in production. The Reaper's going to try to do something, hopping on up, trying to kill a Marine. They do get a Marine. They are inside the main base. KD8 charge knocking a Marine back there, doing 10 damage to it. And can he kill that Reaper? Yeah, not quite. Not quite able to do it. It is very low on health there. KD8 charge is being knocked on down, moving the SCVs back. They do go back to mining, though, which is very nice. And picking off an SCV, so maybe a little bit more effective than anticipated. Going to try to kill that Marine. Can they get it? Yes, killing the Marine here, too. These Reapers are heroes among men. KD8 charge again, knocking the Marines back, weakening one to allow it to be killed. Can he do anything? No, heading back on down, almost dying there. Tries to get into a safe place for the combat drugs to kick on in. KD8 charge knocking that Reaper forward, actually forward a little bit. KD8 charge knocking things back, losing a Reaper as Kelazhur, but killing Polts at the same time. And Kelazhur heads home. So that was a brief, intense bit of Reaper micro from both of those players. In the end, though, it was 3 SCVs that have been killed for Polt, 1 Reaper, and 3 Marines in exchange for 2 Reapers. Resources lost, 350 minerals, 50 gas for Polt. I'm like, what is that green thing? That's gas. 112 and 112 exactly for Kelazhur. That's weird. How is that so even? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Reaper checking for a 3rd command center. There's not one yet, which makes him feel good because he is just now establishing his own 2nd base. And in production, we have Marines. In production, we have tanks. In production, Kelazhur also has medevacs. So it looks like he's moving into more of a standard play here. Viking patrolling back and forth, making sure a drop does not catch him unawares at this natural base. I'm not sure that's something that Kelazhur is planning. He doesn't have a Viking of his own, but I guess his starport is busy making medevacs instead. So we'll see if that pays off for him. or if that might actually cause him some trouble. APM over 300 for both of these guys. Currently 470 something for Polt. Yeah, just crazy amounts of APM from these players. If you ever watch, there's like recordings of players as these Marines burn down the Reaper. Recordings of players' hands as they play, and it's so dang fast. I don't know how people do it that fast. When I play, I am actually fairly slow. So here comes the medevac heading on down south. Is going to be able to be spotted by something of Polt. Indeed it is. A Marine sees it flying in. What a play. Polt able to see it, just sending a scouting Marine out. Accidentally comes across the medevac. You know what they say, good players make their own luck. Medevac says, I can't drop in here. Polt's ready for it. Can I drop over here? There's Viking, look out, medevac. No, medevac says, no way, Jose. Trying to drop some Marines here, killing a Marine on the ground, trying to kill that Viking too. Viking overextending a little bit. No, almost dies. Kelazhur's a little bit committed now. He's going to maybe try to deny this third base, but no. Going to head back on home to a place where he can heal, maybe pick up in the medevac again, and go for another shot. But Polt rebuffed that super darn easily, if I do say so myself. Continuing with the Viking production. He has tanks, but does he have any medevacs at all? No. Polt is going straight up for Marine Tank Viking on his end of things, while it is definitely a medevac play here from Kelazhur. There they are. 2 more medevacs to join the 1. I don't know how they're going to get past that Viking, though. 2 Vikings now. Looks like one of them did get repaired. There are 2 patrolling, almost as though Polt knows what's going to happen here from Kelazhur, that he's going to try it again. Can they find an angle in which to attack? It looks like they might have found one. They're going to head on through this way very sneakily, very quietly, boosting in and landing right on top of these tanks. There's another tank on the high ground, landing on top of that one too. All the tanks are gone. All that's left here for Polt is a bunch of Marines. This base is under complete lockdown. All these SCVs trying to run for their lives. They're all going to die. There's nowhere to go. Ouch. Marines and tanks for Polt. Going to try to take advantage of this and catch the tanks out of position. Coming back to defend, though. One tank getting picked up and saved. No, gets exploded in the end of it. Polt getting rid of that. Is he going to lose this orbital command? The Marines trying to kill what they can take, however, shows up. All the Marines end up dead, but wow, what a blow from Kelazhur, by Kelazhur rather. 26 SCVs were killed. Meanwhile, Kelazhur lost 16 Marines, 2 tanks, and 3 medevacs in the process. That's probably a fair trade, I'd have to say. Polt has lost 2,300 minerals, 300 gas, versus 1,500 minerals and 700 gas, though very gas-heavy losses for Kelazhur. But you know what? If you can be up 52 to 33 harvesters on Polt, you take it. You take it and you run. Medevac with pure Marines heading back on in. What's he going to do with just Marines? He knows there's tanks. Any upgrades on these guys? Nope, none yet, although +1/+1's on the way for Polt. Looks like +1 attack on the way for Kelazhur, but no armor upgrade quite yet on these Marines. Yes, that's correct. They do have stim, they do have combat shield, but no +1 armor. Oh my gosh, Medevac, be so darn careful. What are you doing? No. Viking getting some shots off, boosting in. He's committing. Is Kelazhur, and he does land with the Marines in weird places, spreading them all out there. But tanks, Marines, goodbye drop. Not going to happen. That was an ill-fated drop. Can they get the Viking? They get the Viking. Last Marine gets the Viking. That's all he wanted. That's all Kelazhur wanted. He knew he was dead. He knew he was backed into a corner, so he killed the Viking. So yeah, in the end, 24 Marines have died for Kelazhur. 4 medevacs now. Still up 56 to 47 harvesters. Working on landing his third base. Does Polt have his own third command center? He does. It's over here, though. And he's using it for SCVs to replace the ones that he lost. I think he might lift it and land it eventually here, but for the time being, it looks like it's going to stay. Marine actually might get a couple kills here, and no, he doesn't. SCV very low on health, but not dead. It only counts as a kill if your enemy is dead. So anyway, back to America Online. I'm sure you've all heard the sound, "You've got mail," which is what they said when you had email, when you logged in, because that was the important thing everybody checked for was email back then. I mean, the ability to send messages to your friends and family immediately rather than through the mail was absolutely nuts. The internet was crazy back in the day, you kids. You don't even know what it was like. But yeah, AOL was pretty darn fantastic for its time. It was basically a walled garden. It wasn't super wide open. You had access to the wider internet, but most people just kind of stuck around to these basic channels that AOL had. You could talk about history, you had different chat channels, you had entertainment, movie reviews and things like that. But it was very cultivated. And AOL kind of made sure that what was in there was pretty family friendly for the most part. So that was good. That was something my parents really appreciated. Anyway, Kelazhur running around with Marines, just trying to see what is going on with Polt here. Polt refusing to allow it to happen, though. These Marines will not scout anything. They're going to see a couple Marines. Nope, actually the whole group shows up. Stims forward here. These Marines might get taken out too. Kelazhur, why are you sacrificing Marines? No, Marine versus Marine. Tanks dropping on into the front. No, losing a tank. Forcing it to pick up and move to the back there and forcing Polt back to pick up and retreat again. Kelazhur wins that somehow, despite the fact that he dropped a tank right on the front lines, and Polt burned it down. So 57 to 63 total harvesters. Polt catching up, man. Polt has that third base. He's got it rocking and rolling. Kelazhur with another factory here. Tank, Marine, +1 attack on the tanks being researched here at the same time. And armor level 1 just about to finish for Kelazhur. So he does end up getting that +1 armor after all. So +1/+1 there for these guys. These Marines are +1/+1, but +2 attack and +2 armor just about to finish. That will be a huge, huge, huge thing for Polt. If he can just wait a few more seconds for that to finish. I'm not sure if he knows about that, if there's an internal clock in his head that tells him when to inspect that. But actually, bringing his units over here are the tanks. Splash damaging, trying to get rid of that sensor tower. The tanks on the high ground for Polt are very, very well placed, though. And actually chasing away, trying to get rid of the medevacs. Picking up, moving out as Kelazhur. Apparently picking off that sensor tower was enough. Keeping Polt inside his base was enough. Taking a 4th base behind it. Kelazhur, you dog. You sly dog. Nicely done. Taking a 4th base. Again, if you're going to beat Polt, you got to be good. You got to make good decisions. You got to be good with your micro. And so far, I think Kelazhur is hanging with it. He's trying to make it happen. Tanks with that +1 attack. I believe both players have that +1 attack finish now. They do. +2 attack on the way for Polt, as well as +3 infantry weapons. The upgrades are just a little bit better overall for Polt. Kelazhur still on that +1/+1, working on the +2 armor here, but actually not working on +1 attack or +2 attack. No, he is. It's there. Okay, so he's just a little bit behind. But man, in these, especially in these mirror matchups, being a little bit behind in upgrades can be such a huge difference. Small drop for Kelazhur. Heading on out, taking the long way around. Might actually try to assist with this battle, but no, the Vikings see it. Can they snipe it down? No, boosting away. Kelazhur, too smart to lose him back to that situation. Entrenched here is Polt. Running around, a little bit more mobile is Kelazhur, trying to stay out of range of these tanks. Both players doing the dance. Right here in the very center of the map. On the left side of the ring, we have Polt. And on the right side of the ring in the red trunks, we have Kelazhur. Boosting on down. This medevac has no hit points left. Okay, he has 18. Can it live? No. Nope. Big attack. Marines, Marauders, Vikings in the air, killing medevacs. All the tanks on the ground. More tanks being deployed into the back, killing a bunch of Marines that overextended just a little bit, but so many medevacs are dying here too. The Viking cloud is really useful here for Polt. There are 4 Vikings to 0 for Kelazhur, having foregone that aspect of things entirely. +3/+3, almost completed for Polt, about halfway complete there. Kelazhur working on that +3 attack, a little bit behind. Once again, I think if Polt attacks at the +3/+3, when the +2 vehicle weapons is finished, I think he might be able to end this thing. But I don't know. We're going to have to wait. Actually catching a few of the Vikings out of position. 2 of them end up dying. Good job by Kelazhur. Nice positioning there. Medevacs trying to outrange the tanks of Polt. Losing a tank there. He's going to lose another one? He might. No. No, he is not. This is just so much stuff for Polt. It's 184 to 149 total supply. He has this under complete lockdown. Kelazhur is in complete defensive mode now. He has no idea how to proceed. He's just trying to position as best he can, try to avoid getting dropped in certain places. Polt trying to run around that way, decides not to. Moves back on in. Tanks are splashing on top of everything here. Landing on the high ground is Polt. Oh, what a play. In range of the planetary fortress, in range of these SCVs. Forced a pull. Kelazhur, he has to deal with these tanks. He's going to fly in with medevacs, try to land some Marines on top of these guys. Splash damaging themselves here. Coming from the backside too is Kelazhur. All the tanks, are they going to die? No, one tank's still alive. One tank's still alive. Coming from the backside, not able to handle it. Coming from the front side is Kelazhur. 2 tanks here for Polt. And nobody quite in range of the other one. Just barely on that outer side. A single Marine trying to take down a command center. Group of Marines and a couple of medevacs running for their lives from the +3/+3 Marines of Polt. The tanks can reach the mineral line once again. Kelazhur losing SCVs, running for their lives are these Marines. They are fugitives. They are wanted for justice. And Polt is able to execute them at the base of these rocks. Easy cleanup for their bodies. Tanks getting some splashes off. Can Kelazhur break this is the question. Polt is in a very, very nice position. This is why a lot of players don't like to take their 4th base in this position, because of this high ground that can be abused like this. I mean, you could technically come up this ramp and deal with it, but it is so hard to do, especially against Terran. So tank versus tank. One tank does get taken down. Kelazhur getting some splash damage on the Marines too. It looks like, yeah, Polt just abandons that tank. It does get evaporated, and Kelazhur actually holds it. Kelazhur holds, ladies and gentlemen. He's able to use his tanks to clear out those tanks. The upper ground is now safe. It is 57 to 54 harvesters. Polt has actually taken the lead in that worker count. Desperately trying to take another base here is Kelazhur, but these Marines are ready for you, man. Can he cancel? No, he doesn't even get a cancel. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. Pushing up again for round 3 here is Polt. That base up and running too. Basically 5 bases for Polt. Trying to snipe down. He has Vikings of his own now. Getting one of the Vikings of Polt. Kelazhur. And again, oh no, he let Polt up here. He let Polt up here. A full retreat. SCVs just run for their lives. They say this is not a good position. He's going for the base race. Kelazhur going for the base race. He says, I am getting camped. I can't take another base here. My only chance is to go for a base race. And here he goes. Actually going to be able to lock down this orbital command fairly easily. And he does. These SCVs hiding that might save their lives. This base evaporated too for Polt. The question is, where does Kelazhur go from here? There are tanks on the high ground. Are they going to be able to hold here? There are just a lot of tanks for Kelazhur. They're not even bothering to siege up. All the tanks are gone. Nothing really defending either here. For Kelazhur, barracks are dying. Factory is going to die too. Add-ons completely wasted. 183 to 116 total supply, though. There are basically tanks here for Kelazhur. He needs to get rid of that mineral line if he can. Polt bringing some Vikings back to snipe down these medevacs. Another drop here, but it's a planetary fortress. Oh no, don't drop here, Kelazhur. Bad life choice. Bad life choice. The PF handles all of it. All that's left is a few tanks for Kelazhur. Polt, meanwhile, has a huge army of Marines to back up his tanks inside the main base of Kelazhur, taking down barracks, taking down all the means of production for our red Terran player. A few Marines here for Kelazhur do clean up the Vikings. A few more Vikings here trying to win the battle. Viking versus Viking. And it looks like Polt might have air superiority from this point on. That is very useful. But meanwhile, this is entirely unopposed from Polt. Taking out missile turrets, getting rid of engineering base. Supply depots dying here too. Kelazhur might be supply blocked eventually, but I don't really know. And Marines actually able to lock down this base fairly effectively. A few of these patches can be accessed, but most of them cannot. Tanks splashing on down, getting rid of starports. This base is not really mining, and neither is this one. Income is plummeting for both of these players. Very, very low. 12 harvesters to 18. Can Kelazhur do this? I don't know that he can. Polt, as soon as he cleans this out, really should just be able to come back and clean out this army for Kelazhur. The Marines are trying to get rid of everything here. Coming up with the Marines of his own, but a lot of splash damage on those Marines for Polt. Wow, everything ends up dead. There are still a ton of tanks in this main base. I'm just not sure that with a 130 to 33 total supply lead, that Polt can drop this thing. Here is his big, old, huge, massive army. Medevacs to heal up every single one of these Marines. Might get rid of that supply depot too, but actually, Kelazhur is not revealed because he has this orbital command hanging on out. Oh man, floating an orbital command. Polt doing the same thing though. I don't think Kelazhur has any. No, Kelazhur calls the GG. Kelazhur's defeated. Polt is victorious, and Kelazhur has left the game. Yeah, I was gonna say Kelazhur did not have any Vikings left at all, so he was never gonna be able to chase down a floating command center. Hard for him to kill this stuff too. In the end, Polt just had a ton of buildings left. He was coming back home to defend. Kelazhur recognized it. He saw the writing on the wall, and he tapped out. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. And again, please visit Root Gaming TV at youtube.com/c/rootgamingtv. Give them a subscribe. Make them happy. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.